Okay, party people, here we are with another video crafting on Opal Rings, eye level 84. The only thing that gives you over 81 is tier 1 res. And so essentially I'm using pristine prismatic, that's life and elemental, in hopes of hitting a good ring that would have a delve only elemental mod, maybe elemental damage with attacks, and then high life. Uh, and so we can go ahead and get started. We have about 100 resonators here. I actually did another 100 resonator session without recording, and it was probably the worst session I've had so far. So let's record again. Maybe we'll hit something godly. So keep going. We basically discard anything with lower than 40 life, no matter what. Maybe if it had like all tier 1 reses, we would keep it. Anything with 70 life and high elemental damage, we will also keep. Those are selling for about 80C or so. So there's a lot of duds so far. It's pretty unfortunate. It's not looking like a good session. So far, of course. Oh, so this one's, it's a high life roll. We'll keep it for now. The reses are pretty terrible. And it's 6 mod. I think we're gonna throw that one away. Oh, this one's pretty nice. So 50 life, 3 suffixes, and you can craft increased damage. So that one will probably sell for about 1 exalt. That's my guess. Uh, More or less, depending on the price of the exalt. And I tend to sell my rings cheaper as well, because I just want to sell them quickly. So 60 life, 70 res, you can craft elemental damage. So actually, I'm gonna see if I have similar rings. Yeah, so this is 70 life, 60 res, and crafted elemental damage. It's at 75 chaos, and I think it hasn't been selling for a while. So uh, higher than crafted weapon elemental damage. Ooh, it has chaos resistance actually. So this is quite a good ring. You can craft increased damage on it. It'll be about total of like 40 damage. It's pretty much the same as a high elemental damage roll. Keep going. 70 life, 70 resistances. Tier 2 fire. We'll keep it. It's kind of a weird ring. I'm gonna look at again. Look, I've been crafting a lot of rings, so kind of looking at similar ones. The thing is, I don't think anyone wants the flat fire that much. I mean, it's worth keeping for now. We have so many bases, and I pretty much don't mind selling anything, as long as it can sustain my gambling habit of crafting these rings, which basically most of the rings I've chosen have so far. Yeah, so there's a lot of low life rolls. It's nice to see stats on rings. People value that a lot. Oh, so this will have. You could sell this for maybe, I don't know. I just sold one that had like 45 resist, 15 all res for 3 exalts, 70 life, and increased elemental damage. Uh, but the thing is, when you get into no res territory, it starts to get a little iffy. But like even these rings, I think you can sell for 80 chaos. And it has 1 resistance. Oh, I don't know how that got hit. Keep going. It had promise with the tier 1 resistance. Actually, this one's not terrible. So with 42 res plus 45 res, that's almost you know, like a little less than 100 res, essentially. And oh shit, I just rolled over it. Oh, whatever. I don't think it's a super great ring. I've had trouble selling pure life res rings, and it had nothing but basically I had a lot of trouble selling crafted elemental damage rings. Because by the time people are willing to drop a premium on an opal, like they essentially only want the high elemental damage stat, right? Uh, Otherwise they might as well just buy a cheaper like diamond ring or something with a high elemental damage stat. So this is like a pretty crazy resist ring. We'll say it will hit about 100. Um, I think that will sell. But we can see I like this one's not selling. This one 40 53 life, but it does have 2 affixes, so I think that one we can keep. Someone will want it. Oh, that would have been pretty nice if not for the life roll. We're almost at the white resonators. Oh, I think at first the initial reaction to seeing a 6 mod ring is always like, it's good to see a lot of stuff on your screen. But wow, two really high resist, but not a great ring. That would have been nice if it had higher life. I actually haven't seen many chaos resistance rolls. Yeah, so just life and resistance, it really doesn't sell for much. I think I've had them sitting at like 50 chaos that just never sold. Okay, so for the remaining ones, oh, we use white resonators. It's a nice roll with crafted life, which usually tends to have trouble selling. Maybe keep it for now, we might salvage it. I suspect we might run out of bases. Unlucky. Could have hit a good elemental damage attack roll. Ooh. Wow, this one's quite nice. Doesn't have an open affix, but it has 58 resistances, high life, and actually flat lightning and increased lightning damage. The flat lightning is pretty low, but essentially it's really nice for a lightning attack damage user. For my build, which is elemental spectral throw, like I use wrath, you can see here, so it would actually be quite useful. But in general, lightning attack skills are not as popular. And what I have found is really popular is stuff like this increased cold damage, and then you hit an elemental damage too. And it's stuff like Winter Orb, for example. A ring with promise, but didn't hit any good mods. Wow. Can we craft life onto that one? That's actually super nice. Some of the tiers are a bit low, but you can see it is consistent, right? That might be the best ring we've seen so far. Which is kind of sad. It's not a like super godlike ring. It's kind of killed by the life roll. Ooh, now that's killed by the life roll. Oh, we hit the tier 1 all elemental resist. That's like 70 life, 70 flat fizz. Let me see. Yeah, like it has no damage stats. That's the problem. You have to craft elemental damage. You get something like this. 75 chaos, not selling. I mean, this one has all elemental resistances, which is a lot nicer. And some flat fizz, but I'm actually inclined to roll over it. I'll put it here just as a tentative. Had promise. Okay. We're reaching the end game. It's a really high mana regen. It must be tier 1, right? Yeah. And the tiers on that are all high. But I think like even accuracy is kind of niche. It's useful, but it's not like, I don't think it's a premium. Wow, double leech. It's kind of cool. That's like the most pristine ring, pristine fossil ring ever. It has 5 life mods on it. I promise. That's what I'll say every time we hit the elemental damage mod. It's a nice high roll. I feel like I've actually been seeing more of the more rings killed by low life rolls today. But obviously everything's ultimately up to chance. Could just be imagining it. Kind of sad because I haven't seen anything too great this session. But it was more rings to keep than I had last session. So, wow. Last one. Alright. And so, guess we'll put these two back as the crafting bases. Don't know if this is worth keeping. Honestly, I'll probably just post it for sale and see, you know, if there are rings that don't start selling. Like this one's been posted at 65. It's essentially the same as Crafted Life. And it's got like 60 resistance. It's decent. For 65 chaos, nobody wants it. Alright, so let's review. This one, I would guess around 100 C. This one, it's tier 1 life, right? So it'd be something similar to this. But, I mean the resistance rolls look a lot better. This one's a nice lightning ring. That one is quite good. I think I have similar ones that haven't been selling. Well, that one hit all 3 mods actually. So this one is just fire damage and elemental damage with attacks. This one is also, oh wait, no, it's just that one. I did have some similar rings, and I guess they sold, so actually that ring's pretty insane. I'm not sure if I've hit all 3% mods before on one. This one's pretty marginal. This one's kind of like a, hey, let's cut our losses ring, as is this one. This one is pretty good. I think Chaos Res is actually a premium, especially a roll like that. Tier 1 Chaos Res, you almost never see that. This one, pretty solid ring if someone's willing to give up good life. This one's 70 res, 70, 20 and mental damage with attack skills. That's pretty marginal. This is like medium tier, this is low tier. And this is also pretty marginal, but you know, even just having 70 life and the elemental damage is selling pretty well. So this one I'll probably sell for cheap. Anyway, that concludes the session. I'm actually starting to run low on money, so hopefully we can sell some of these and make it back.